share really some personal insight and maybe some of the amenities and some of the things that were down there.
Oh, absolutely. If you go to Jamaica, it's very laid back, very comfortable. It is safe if you know where you're going. There's nothing to it at all. You get off the cruise and you book an excursion. Always book your excursion through the cruise, because if you're delayed on the excursion and you book it independently, the cruise is not going to wait for you. So they have lots of cruises you can do. There's Dunn's Rivers, and it's a waterfall natural thing that you can do. There's catamarans with a lot of snorkeling. There's different things you can do in Jamaica that's good for families, singles, and party people. Everything is there. It's actually, you can't get bored in Jamaica.
Nevein, a lot of folks want to know, they're sometimes intimidated by traveling outside the United States, going to other countries, whether they, depart from the mainland in the U.S., Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Seattle, perhaps Boston in the Northeast, New York. Some questions that might come up are, hey, do I need a passport to cruise? What do you say to that?
No, passports are not required. They're only recommended. So if you would like to cruise and you have a birth certificate and a matching ID, that's perfectly fine. That's all you need for a document leaving a U.S. port, coming back to a U.S. port. The passport is recommended in case there is an emergency that you can use it coming back. But I book a lot of people was just traveling with birth certificates and IDs. So it's not an issue at all. That's part of the travel advantage of a cruise. A lot of people don't have passports, don't have time to get the passports, and they're okay traveling with the birth certificate.
And last I checked, as an adult and you get a passport, it's good for 10 years. And I believe as a minor, they're good for 5 years. Is that correct?
That is correct. You apply for a passport. And also don't forget, the Real ID is coming up. As of October, everybody has to have a Real ID. And that will be part of the birth certificate and ID to travel.
Well, professional drivers, they're domiciled all over the country. We always think of what I just mentioned, leaving South Florida, Miami, Fort Lauderdale. What are some other popular U.S. cruise ports, maybe on both coasts? I know there's some in Southern California, so the listeners can maybe get plugged in where they can maybe drive to the destination, spend a night or two before they embark on their cruise.
So, let's say you have Baltimore. There's a port there. New York, Galveston, Texas. There's so many ports. There is an advantage if you are close enough to the cruise port and you'd like to drive. Parking can get very expensive. However, I have a resource where you book a hotel room for like $100, $120, and you get to park your car for free for a whole week. So you go earlier one night, spend the night, enjoy it, and they have free transfer that would take you to the cruise port. Your car is parked there, and then you pick up your car on your way back.
Well, that's a great tip. And back to our point earlier about saving money, that's a big money saver because most parking, I know in those cities you mentioned, might be $15, $20 a night even. Yep. And if you book a hotel night, you want to be in the cruise port the night before, just to be on the safe side. So you book a night, you enjoy your night, you relax, park your car, wake up in the morning, have some breakfast, get a transfer to the cruise, and it's perfectly great. How about for our West Coast listeners, a couple ports maybe up and down the West Coast?
Yeah, there's plenty of ports in the West Coast. And I mean, it depends. You can go to cruise to Hawaii. You can cruise to Alaska. I mean, there's so many things you can do. We can go to Calgary. There's so many, every place you want to go, anywhere you are, I can find a port close to you and we can get you going to a nice vacation.
Would the departure point be San Diego on the southern West Coast? And then how about up the coast, Seattle? Is that another port?
Absolutely. Seattle is a port. It's a famous port, actually, especially if you're going up to Alaska.
Yeah, and if you ever head up there, you need to spend a little time at the Pike Place Fish Market. It's legendary known for their customer service and those people having fun in there. Have you ever been to the Pike Place Fish Market there, Nevein?
I have not. I guess it's going to be on my list.
Yeah, it's legendary. Been there a long, long time. And matter of fact, in the show notes, I'll include a link to the Pike Place Fish Market, and we'll also include other links on tips for cruising that Nevein will be posting as well. So that'll be fantastic. Well, let's talk a little bit about what's included in the cruise. You mentioned earlier there's packages, and let's start with like food and beverage. Do most cruise packages include all the food and beverage while you're on the ship, or is it priced differently?
No, it's a standard thing for a cruise. You have your room, you have your food, and you also pay flat number of gratuities, which gets divided on everybody. You get the coffee and the tea and water and juices on the cruise. That's included. Any alcoholic beverages or soda beverages or water, that is extra. You can pay that in advance in a package, or you can pay as you go. But the cruise itself and the ports and the stops and your accommodation is included, and all the food.
And I'm sure it depends on what part of the world you're in, but can you talk about maybe one or two popular excursions, and maybe explain to the listener what an excursion is exactly? If someone's never been on a cruise, they may say, what is that?
Okay, so let's say you are going to leave out of Puerto Rico, and the first stop is going to be St. Kitts. The cruise docks at St. Kitts. You have a couple of options. You can just hang on the cruise ship and enjoy the pool and relax while everybody's off, and that doesn't cost anything. You can get off the ship and tour the island on your own, walk around, and that also doesn't cost anything. But if you decide to do an excursion and rent ATVs or do a catamaran to snorkel, the cruise ship has a desk for excursions where you get to see what they offer in each stop and how much it costs. And if you're interested, you buy that and you just off you go and you enjoy it, and they bring you back to the ship. All the excursions include transfer from the ship to where you're going and come back. So it's guaranteed you're not going to miss your ship. A lot of them also includes snacks, drinks, sometimes lunch. Sometimes they even take you to a private beach. That's also part of the excursion, let you spend a few hours there. Every cruise ship docks usually from morning till 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and then leaves either to the next port or a sail day. Sail day means the destination after that is a lot longer, so it takes all day and all night to get to the next destination.
Nevein, some people I talk to about travel, I've been fortunate enough to travel at many destinations around the world, and I enjoy to travel. But some people, they're really scared in today's day and age to leave the country. They're concerned about safety and things of that nature. Can you speak to that about safety and when you're in another country? Just spend a few seconds on that.
Absolutely. And I travel a lot, and I have not had an issue. If you are in a resort or on a cruise and you book a tour, those tours are completely reliable. The cruise line cannot sacrifice their reputation by hiring anything shady or uncomfortable. So they make sure that you're safe, you're taken care of. It's perfectly safe. You get off, you are with a group, you're not alone, you're being taken care of, and they bring you back. In my opinion, there is zero concern when you book an excursion with a cruise or a resort.
Another question that came up, I fielded some of these ahead of this recording, is, hey, if I just travel solo, I'm not married, I don't have any kids yet, and I just want to go on a cruise all by myself, is there a big price savings? Is it half the cost? What's the answer to that?
Actually, it is not. I mean, it's like renting a hotel room. You can't rent a hotel room on your own and say, it's online, I found it for $130. Now I'm coming alone. Give it to me for half the cost. You pay for the entire cabin, but they cannot charge you for port fees and taxes for two people. So if you're going alone, you're just saving on the taxes. The cabin is paid for 2 people. So it's beneficial to have somebody else, but it's not unheard of for a lot of singles to travel. In fact, there are some cruises geared for single cruises.
Another question that came up in advance of this is, do I need insurance? And if so, what does it cover?
I recommend insurance. Insurance covers if there is a cancellation of any medical situation for you or immediate family, you get your refund back. You get your money back. Also, if there is a major hurricane and the cruise is canceled, although if there is a major hurricane, they refund you regardless. Sometimes they reroute the ship or refund you, but it is just always good to have insurance just in case. You don't want to lose your money. You save a lot of money to go on that vacation, and you want to spend just a little more to guarantee that your investment is saved.
And a lot of folks want to plan this well in advance, ask for time off from work, plan with other family members, or like you said earlier, if you book 5 or more cabins, get all those families and friends together. It's a challenge. So if they book it, say, 4 months, 6 months, 12 months in advance, do they have to pay for the entire cruise well in advance of getting on the ship?
No. That's the advantage also of booking with a travel agent. She can, or he can put you on a payment plan, or you can pay as you go. Let's say you have an extra income this month and you want to put some money into it. You just let them know, I want to add some more money. So when you book a cruise, there is a minimal amount that needs to be deposited to secure the cabin. Once you meet that minimum requirement, there is a final payment date. Any day in between that you want to make extra payments so it doesn't have to be a big lump sum of money when that day comes for final payment, absolutely perfectly fine with the cruise ship to get the money and take it deducted out of your total. So when the time comes and you're ready to travel, you hardly owe anything. It just makes it a lot easier. It's like a payment plan for a car or anything that you buy, TV, or it's almost like, like you're shopping for Christmas and putting things on layaway.
Hey, one final question, Nevein. This has been great. People ask, hey, with the internet, is it cheaper to just go online and book at, say, carnivalcruiseships.com or RoyalCaribbeanCruise.com, or will they save money doing that, or is it more beneficial to book through a travel agent?
Actually, travel agents, their commission is already factored in whether you book online on your own or book with them. So it is to your advantage to use a travel agent because she will guide you to the right direction. She'll tell you what's good for you, what do you need to do. It doesn't cost you any extra. The cruise ship pays her, not you. So it is a win-win for both of you. She has the knowledge advantage. It's not an 800 number. It's a personal conversation with somebody that's not a computer or somebody you don't know that knows exactly what you want. I need to make an extra payment, change that. Also, travel agents can help you with the documents. When you board a plane, you need a boarding pass. After you pay for the cruise and you're ready to go, you need to check in and get boarding passes and luggage tags for your luggage. Travel agents can take care of all these documents for you, make it all smooth and easy, and it doesn't cost you any extra.
Thanks, Nevein, for this very insightful discussion on cruising. We'll post some additional information in the show notes. I'll tell you, it's a sunny day here in North Texas, and I want to book a cruise now, so I might be getting in touch with you after the show. Anything else you want to add?
No, I just think that you need to get on the phone and make a call and get something to look forward to and book your vacation. It's wintertime, and everybody's looking for some sunshine.
On this segment of The Road Home, I am pleased to be joined by Sean Yaden, who leads the California Trucking Association. Welcome to the show, Sean.
Sean, thank you so much. It's great to be on with you.
Well, you bring such a vast background, 31 years in government affairs, but one thing that really impressed me, Sean, is 19 years at FedEx, so you got plenty of transportation background experience. Tell us a little bit about your FedEx. I know you didn't spend a lot of time on the trucking side, but just your time at FedEx.
No, I'd be happy to. So as you said, 19 years with FedEx. Really, for me, starting working part-time there in a customer call center when I was going to college in Sacramento. And